Hello, I'm Matthew Richardson and welcome to the Whiteboard, brought to you by British Paints. Today we're looking at Dustin Fletcher. At 37 years of age, I can't believe a guy who, as old as I am, is still running around in the AFL. It's unbelievable. He's been a key staple of the Essendon backline for over 2 decades now and continues to defy the theory that this game is dominated by younger, fitter athletes. Well, Fletcher's in the top 10 for the competition for defensive spoils, and he's been doing it for 20 years now, as we said. And I reckon he developed his technique pretty early in his career, because early on he played on the big monsters like Lockett and Dunstall and Stephen Kernahan. And I reckon he developed the technique of not getting involved in too many wrestles. He uses his advantage as well, which are his long arms and his huge height. He's never been a huge man, so he doesn't get involved in those one-on-one wrestles. He comes in late like that and always times his fist to absolute perfection. You see here, not really a wrestle there with Jordan Lewis, just comes in and spoils late at the last minute. The other thing that he can do is he does the 1%ers in the back half. He's always done these ungainly things with his long arms, like a smother there, and big shepherds. So he's been great at that his whole career. We see him here winning an intercept mark, and that's the thing, if you're a young forward and you don't get into the right positions on Dustin Fletcher, he will just probably pay you no respect, because he knows you're not going to get the football. If you play for 20 years, you tend to know if younger players are running into the wrong positions. And as he's got older, he hasn't played on the key forwards as much, and that's why he's become such a dominant intercept player in the back 50. Still a bit of old-fashioned defence about him, coming in there, making Paul Chapman earn it. We'll have another look here on the game vision. Yeah, made Chappie earn that one. There's nothing wrong with that. Early days he would have been able to get away with a lot more than what he has now, so he's had to adapt. Also in this one here on Gunston, front on contact, they actually had a little bit of a look at that one on match review panel, but absolutely nothing wrong with that. An area which Dustin is very good at is when he turns defence into offence. But one thing you've got to love is Dustin's attack on the football, and he's always tried to win his own football. He doesn't just worry about defending, and with that huge experience that he's got great anticipation of when to come off his man and when to win the football. He's actually #1 for rebound 50s in the competition, and he just anticipates the play so well and always backs himself in to win the football. When the ball needs to be delivered out of the Essendon back half, the Bombers want it in Fletcher's hands. Well, there's a reason why he's the designated kicker for the Essendon Footy Club. He's actually had the most number of kicks of any player in the back 50 in the competition. It's because they want it in his hands, the Essendon Football Club. The reason why is he's #5 for kicking efficiency in the whole competition. So when he gets it, he doesn't waste it. They often use him on the kick-ins because he is still such a long kick. Even at his age, he's lost no distance off his kicking, and he often clears the zone and gives Essendon easy scoring opportunities down the other end. When he's got the ball in his hands, he always creates scoring chains because he is so efficient with the football, but he also makes the right decisions. So coming out of back 50, he generally puts his teammates into the right spots, which means they get it down to the other end and score a real lot when he's got it in his hands. He's a precise kick, but he's also not afraid to just bang the ball on his boot. Well, he's such an efficient kick, Fletch, but there's still a bit of that old-fashioned defender in him. Sometimes you just have to get the ball out of the area as long as you can and bang it on your boot, and he knows that. He knows the repercussions if you try and muck around and go short and make mistakes in the back 50, so he's not scared just to get the ball out of there and let himself reset and give his opposition the chance. He thinks there's a free kick there. I don't think so, Fletchy. That was wishful thinking. There you go, just bangs it around the corner. You just have to get it out of there sometimes. For years, the great thing about Fletcher has been his versatility. Well, as a 17-year-old, he did start on the big gorillas, but as his career's gone on, he has been so versatile. You saw him on his little young player there in Smets, then the big ruckman in Trent West, then on to Motlop, a real goal sneak with such pace and agility, still able to play on those guys. There you got him on Chappie, and then back to another resting ruckman in young Walker. So then Roughhead. He played on Bailey as well in these 2 games. So in 2 games of football, he's had just about the full variety of opponents. Brad Sewell, the resting midfielders, Sammy Mitchell, you can't get much height difference there. So that shows you just how versatile he is. On this particular night, what he did was he got a defensive tag from Whitecross and Luke Hodge. That shows you how much respect teams still have for him. The fact that at his age, they're still sending the opposition captain to try and, nullify his effect in the back 50. I reckon it did start to wear him down on this particular night because he's trying to get onto Roughhead. You got Hardingham trying to get onto Hodge. So it became a real four-man run around, and I think at some point it was starting to wear him down this night. And you've got to give credit to Luke Hodge here as a captain of the Hawthorn Footy Club. This was his first game back from injury. He played the role beautifully, and there's no doubt there's Fletch starting to get a little bit frustrated and tired. He's getting old, and have a look at him there, the old boy. I think he's just about had enough by this stage. Well, can you believe that in 2013, Dustin will enter his 21st year as a league footballer? It's an incredible footy story, and there are a lot of guys on AFL lists who weren't even born the year that he's made his debut. Can you believe that? Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week on the Whiteboard.